What makes Huntington Beach so special when it comes to the 4th of July? What's the hype around Huntington Beach? What's there to do in Huntington Beach? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into in today's video. As a local real estate agent for nearly 20 years here in Huntington Beach, one of the questions I get all the time from clients looking to move to the area is what makes Huntington Beach so special when it comes to the 4th of July? What makes it different? And in today's video, I want to spend a little bit of time and talk about it in a little bit more detail, go over the different festivities leading up to the 4th, the different things that you can do as a tourist, as a local, and really help explain why the 4th of July is so special here in Huntington Beach. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. I'm a little bit biased when it comes to 4th of July here in Huntington Beach. Why? Because it's my absolute favorite holiday here in the city. And the primary reason for that is because it really draws a sense of community. It not only brings friends and families together through things like barbecues and the runs and all of the things that we're going to talk about in today's video, but it's also a time when you're out meeting the community, neighbors that you haven't met, or when you're out, at other friends' house meeting those people. There just always seems to be a bit of buzz in the air around that time, and everybody is super friendly in there really for the same reason, and that's to celebrate America's birthday. Now, some things I want to touch on before I actually talk about the different festivities happening over really a 5-day span leading up to the 4th of July is that if you're a tourist planning on coming to the city, you definitely want to make sure that you get to the city earlier in the day, find parking, and not plan on moving. And the reason for that is the city gets a lot of people coming in from other cities as well as different counties, all coming to the beach that day to celebrate everything that is going on. So just make sure if you're planning on coming to the city, get here early. Now, if you're in the city and you haven't been down towards the beach during this time of year, you also need to make sure you get to the beach early. Again, there's a lot of traffic coming in. Even those that live downtown in those areas, what they tend to do is park their cars on the road to open up additional parking, maybe in their garages, on their own driveways for their friends and family to park there, or to use that areas to actually barbecue, celebrate, have friends over. So with that said, there's just less parking down in the city near the beach this time of year, which really adds to how hectic the area is. With that said, you're going to have a lot of people down near the beach, down on Main Street, on PCH. There's going to be a lot of traffic, so you absolutely have to have patience because there's going to be people here that have no idea what they're doing. And then on top of that, you're going to have locals that are absolutely stressed because there's people everywhere and they're going to be looking to get where they're going rather quickly. So it's just going to create a lot of animosity in the city. So just make sure you're patient. But with that said, the activities this year start really early because July 4th is on a Tuesday. The party is really going to start on that Friday leading to July 4th, which is June the 30th. And on that night, Main Street is actually going to be closed. It's going to be pedestrian only. So you're not going to be able to drive down Main Street. So if you're planning on coming to the city, you need to find a different place to park. And down on Main Street is where the party is going to start. Essentially, it's going to be one large block party. They're going to have live music. They're going to have different festivities on top of everything that would normally go on in the city with restaurants, with dining, and just people out and about. So it's going to be a crowded time downtown, but it's going to be a fun way to get the party started. And then the next day, July 1st, is going to be that Saturday. And that day is going to start with an impromptu bike ride from Lake Park downtown all through the numbered streets downtown, taking you back out to Main Street. Now, I say impromptu, although it is a little bit planned, but it's not put on by the city. It's actually put on by the community itself. This is something that started 4 years ago during the pandemic to kind of create a sense of community at that time because there was nothing going on. And it started as a small bike ride of what they thought was going to be about 100 friends. Well, it ended up being 1,000 or more people. And then the next year it was a couple of thousand and then a couple thousand more. And this year I wouldn't be surprised to see somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people doing this bike ride. It's absolutely chaos, but at the same time, it's absolutely awesome because you have the community coming together and everybody's riding bikes and everything is decorated. It's just an awesome time to be down in the city. From there, you can actually head back down to the beach where they'll be doing the first annual Huntington Beach Cornhole Tournament there on the beach. Now, that tournament is going to last both Saturday and Sunday. This is a two-man team. In fact, I'll put a link below to the website where you can register if you're looking to compete, or if you're just looking to get more information about what I'm talking about in this video, you can check the link below. Now, at the same time all of this is going on, there is also a carnival down by the pier, which starts on that same Friday, June 30th, and runs all the way through the 4th. Now, this is something that's going to be open daily, sometime around noon, all the way until 10 p.m. at night. Now, there's a couple of different things in this little carnival, if you will. You have some games to play, you have food to eat, you have a Ferris wheel, as well as some other small rides. So that'll be happening every single day starting the 30th. And then come Monday, the 3rd, there's not really anything on the calendar, but what I can tell you is because it's the day before the 4th, there's going to be a lot of people in the city, a lot of people going down to the beach. So plan on the beach being absolutely packed with locals as well as tourists. And then comes the 4th, the day that I look forward to every single year, which in my house starts with the Surf City 5K. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is, it's a 5K run, so 3.2 miles that starts near 17th and Main Street, runs down Main Street onto PCH and back up the same course. Now, there's a residence race that starts at 7 a.m. as well as the same race repeated at 8 a.m. Now, even though I'm a resident, we typically do the 8 a.m. race just because I have 3 kids and getting everybody up and about and, ready to run. 8 a.m. typically works better. And on top of that, that's usually because there's a kids race that also starts at 9 a.m. So if you have kids that maybe can't run the full 5K, just want to do a shorter version of the race, that's when that takes place. So for us, the 8 a.m. run works the best. From there, it usually turns into a bike ride or a golf cart ride to friends and family to visit different people while we wait for the Huntington Beach Parade to start. Now, the parade was launched in 1904 as a way to celebrate the first arrival of the electric train that connected Huntington Beach to Long Beach as well as Los Angeles. And at that time, that attracted 50,000 people. That was back in 1904. But here we are today, 119 years later, where this annual tradition attracts more than 500,000 people over this 5-day period. Now, with that said, if you want to be able to get a seat for the parade early on, you really need to get there the day before to mark your area, because that's when the city allows people to start marking their space. So if you're coming from out of town, that might be difficult. Just make sure you have some friends or family mark an area. But there's a lot of different areas and spaces to watch the parade where you can have a full view of everything. But it is definitely one of the things that the city is really proud of and the community is really proud of, and people get out there early and they make a big deal out of it where they're barbecuing, having drinks, and just having fun. Now, from there, what you'll find is a lot of people tend to barbecue, go to friends and family members' houses, or more or less just ride their bikes throughout the city, because during that time, Pacific Coast Highway is still closed coming off the end of the parade. But shortly after that, you'll have people head to the beach and take in the sun for the majority of the day, which usually ends with the fireworks over the ocean at 9 p.m. Now, the fireworks go off over the ocean, but it's over towards the Huntington Beach Pier. So you really want to get a spot of the pier in order to be able to get the best view of the fireworks. But with that said, there are several places throughout the city where you don't have to be on the beach and still have a really good view of the fireworks. So to each his own with this sort of thing. Just understand, if you're down at the beach, it's going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of people down there, especially if the weather is good. Because we've had crappy weather for so many months here in 2023, there's a lot of people that are looking to get out and about and really want to see the sunshine. So if the sunshine is out, just understand it's going to be more chaotic than normal. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier in this video is this channel is all about Huntington Beach. So if you're interested in Huntington Beach, things to do in Huntington Beach, the communities in Huntington Beach, do me a favor and not only like this video, but feel free to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything Huntington Beach related. Now, there is a question I want to ask you as a viewer. What are your favorite things about Huntington Beach? If you're from here, what are your favorite things to do on the 4th? And if you're not from here and you're coming here, what are you most looking forward to do here in the city of Huntington Beach? Now, if you're watching this and you really have no idea about Huntington Beach, you just happen to stumble across this video and you're wondering, what are the pros and cons of Huntington Beach? Do me a favor and check out this video here.